Murder style, y'all.
Insanity, insanity, whatever happened to humanity? Ooh.
Unfriended is a supernatural horror film that has been produced by Levon Gabriadze and has been produced by Tamar Beckman Batov. Damn, that was a mouthful. One night, a group of online chat room friends find themselves haunted by a mysterious supernatural force using the accounts of their dead friend. I thought this movie was fantastic. It was so good to the point where I'm surprised no one is talking about this film. Now, to be fair here, this movie came out in a very early time, around 2014. So that was when a lot of bad trendy films was coming out because Hollywood was running out of ideas at the time. It was throwing so many films to the point where we was literally overlooking so many of them because Hollywood has literally blown a chance of us giving a great creative film. If it's not good in the way of their own mind, and they're going to stick to films that's based on true stories and novels. I mean, they're so fucking desperate to the point where they made a damn Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix. They're that desperate to bring to reopen the wound of people who have been through those times. If that's the reason why I don't want to watch it and review it. But let's just say here that there was some movies, well, there was most movies that people overlooked and they didn't want to check out in 2014 because they knew that they was running out of ideas. But let's just say that Unfriended is a film that came out at that year and it should not be overlooked. This is a film that you would enjoy, especially in the month of Halloween. One thing that pulls me in with horror so much is the aspects of us being in the realization of the characters. How they're going to react when it comes to them being in a horror film, and what decisions and what strategic ways they're going to use to outdo the maneuvers of them surviving or dying in a way. But what I liked about this film is that it pulls you in the aspects of the believability of the characters' motives, their intentions, and just how they are when they're frustrated. I mean, for fuck's sake, they have shown us the main cause of how this film was going to play off by Lauren committing suicide. And by doing that, it wanted us to be on the edge of our seat of just how these things are going to get taken place, even though it was just the beginning. But it wanted us to be aware of this just so when things get taken place, it lets us know how these characters is going to react when things end up hitting the fan. Because all this pays attention well to the pacing of the characters. How did they feel when Laura died? Were they Laura's friend? Was they related to Laura? Did they not like Laura? And if they didn't, what part of the relationship made them break that bond in the first place? And they explain this in a way where we end up liking the characters, and if we didn't like them, we understood their motivations. Because what I like most about the film is that when they show certain aspects of characters that are dying and they out for revenge, they most likely are a good person or a person that we supposed to feel sympathy for because they was literally witnessing something, or they was just one of those bystanders that just stands out and we just really did not want them to die and get killed off. And if they get killed off, then we want the people to pay for it. But they didn't do that. What I like about this film is they wanted to show that even though Laura has committed suicide, there was people that did not like her, and there are some people that think that she deserved to commit suicide. There were some people that think that that she deserved to die. But that just shows you that everybody has a dark side. Everybody has like certain things to hide. And that's what makes this film brilliant, is that it uses the mind gestures of people hiding in a fake shell to protect their own guilt just so they can survive. And I thought it was played perfectly. The character development was also done pretty well, to the point where when horror films like this happen, I question their logic. I question what they're going to do. And each of these characters, even though they had their backs against the wall, their lives was at stake, they did not do anything to make me jump up and curse at the damn TV. No, every single character was reasonable. Every single character I did not hate. Every single character I did not want to die. So, and it's not like I felt for every character. No, it's just they gave me enough innovation for these characters to the point where I end up feeling for their drive. And when things end up happening, I did not want them to get killed off. I want to give a lot of praise to Heather Sauceman. Heather Sauceman as Laura Barnes, even though she didn't really do much on the film, like she was just in the tape when she ended up committing suicide, and they showed a tape of why she committed suicide. I liked it, her drive of her playing as a paranormal ghost herself. I liked it, the intention that she has put into the characters and bringing the fear out of these characters so they can expose the lies, the secrets amongst one another. I thought that her character was indeed imposing, man, especially when things were beginning to get bad. Let's talk about the kills and the fear aspect. Let's just say here that the drive of this film, even though there was great kills on this film, there was some kills on here that would make you cringe a little bit. Not cringe in the bad part, but would not make you won't understand these kills when you first watch this film. You have to watch this film a couple times for you to understand. Because the way how Laura Barnes killed people, she kills people out of the aspects of their own attitude, out of their own behavior. Like Val, the way how she killed Val, the way how she killed Ken, the way how she killed, oh shit, the way how she killed Jess was, at one point I didn't get it, but as many times I watched this film, it made sense to me. It all put the pieces together, especially when she was busy communicating to these people and letting them know their main issues of their character. And that's one of the main strengths of this film also, is just how traumatizing these deaths are. There are some deaths on this film that would be there for a very long time, even before they even get killed. And you're like, what the hell is going on here? But then when they reveal what happened, when they show you what happened, you'd be like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? There was times on this film that I looked and I watched, and there was just signs that stood there for a very long time. And it wants you to figure it out for yourself, because it wants you to know how these characters is going to die and how did they die. Like Val, I know I keep bringing up Val, but at the same time, Val and Ken's death was one of the main deaths that fucking traumatized me the most. Overall, this film is great. This film is a very good social media film. And at the same time, when it comes to a person coming out for revenge and using their own issues against other characters, and at the same time, this movie is a very good eye peeler when it comes to you coming back for more and more and more. And each time you watch the film, it solves certain riddles that you have missed from the previous time you watched it. Like, what did Ken actually see before Laura killed him when he was looking for the camera that was watching him? And he stood there for a very long time. And people in the chat was even asking him, Ken, what the fuck is going on?
Ken, what the fuck's going on?
He stood there. I really wanted to know what it was he was looking at, and I looked it up on the computer, and I could not find what it was. There was some conspiracy. There was some, some type of, people's opinions of what they thought it was, but it did not add up. It did not make sense to me. There were some other things that I've seen that did make sense, though. Like, for example, Val's death, when she stood at the camera. And I already knew that she died, especially when Blair tried calling her phone and you saw the phone vibrate and she stood there. If you pay attention, and they actually said this in the film, that her mirror was fucked up in the background. But at the same time, if you notice that the bleach cap was open, Val was forced to drink bleach. And as for the mirror shattering, I'm pretty sure Laura made her slit her wrist also. Hence, where she emailed her telling her to go kill herself, which was the last message that she has read before Laura Barnes ended up committing suicide. Same thing with Blair. Even though Blair was the last female to get killed in the film, the main question still holds up, which was what people was watching this film wanted to know about. Who closed the laptop before Laura ended up killing her? Well, in my opinion, I think it was Mitch. Because let's just face it here. Mitch had on a regular shirt, but at the same time, Mitch ended up dying because Laura gave Blair a certain amount of time to reveal who leaked the tape out. Now remember, she already knew who leaked the tape out. She just wanted her to admit it. So she lied and said it was her boyfriend. She said it was him. And she ended up killing Mitch. So at the same time, Mitch was already dead and gone. But when Laura actually showed Blair that it was her by revealing the whole footage of the tape and showing Blair's face as she leaked it, Laura had no choice but to tell her, look, I wish I could forgive you. She knew the whole fucking time. And at that part, she heard someone closing the door, and her laptop immediately closed. Now, if you pay attention to that scene, and if you slow it down, you saw somebody wearing a regular t-shirt, and it was just so quick. It was the ghost of Mitch. It had to have been the ghost of Mitch. It just had to have been. It had to have been her dead boyfriend. Because after what happened, and even to prove this, when she said it was Mitch, if you look at the film, you can pay attention of just how Mitch was looking at Blair. He wasn't looking at her as in he was scared. He looked at her as in, I can't believe you actually said that shit. I think Laura screenshotted that or shared the screen just so she can show Mitch. This is what happened. Laura had a very good manipulation method on these characters because she knew how to manipulate these people. They used to be her friends and they all used her, even if she was a bully herself. That's the reason why I love Unfriended so much, because this is one of these horror films that is at its core when it comes to the realization of what characters go through today. Check this film out. Watch it. I'm gonna have to give Unfriended an A+. I feel like at the end of the day, I like films like this that is more than just scary. I like watching films like this that has a good sign gesture of you going back to it, not just because of the scares, but because there's just certain things that just does not add up to you, and you want it to make more further sense, especially if you thought that you had all the pieces together in the first place. That's just how I felt when I watched Unfriended. But I was lucky because I watched it one time and I ended up liking it, but then when my cousins didn't want to watch it with me, there was some things that got me this impelled and to keep going into it and watching it more and more and more was Get Out. Other than Get Out, this is the only film that was filled with so many answers that you cannot, filled with so many questions that you cannot answer in the first run. I said a mouthful, I know. But anyway, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for more upcoming movie reviews and videos headed your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher, and I hope you guys have a good day.